Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. New York farms may be at risk due to a new overtime threshold for farm hands. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg learned more on how this will impact farms.
The New York Farm Laborers Wage Board voted 2-1 to submit their final report to Department of Labor Commissioner Roberta Reardon. The report recommends that the state overtime threshold for farm workers be reduced from 60 hours a week down to 40. New York Farm Bureau President David Fisher voted against submitting the report. In a press release after the vote, Fisher stated that the report is not a full and accurate description of the data and testimony collected. According to a piece of data left out of the report, Fisher cites a survey collected that states 72% of farm workers would leave the state if their hours were cut. Finding long-term quality labor was already a challenge for many farms. By cutting the hours, it will make owning and operating farms even harder than it is now. This could force many farms to close down or move to other states.
Farming is a challenging profession. Requires hours and dedication and skill set. Machinery has become more complicated to operate, and to find people with knowledge base and a dedication and love of farming to put the time in and stay with you in the long haul for something that has to be a little bit of a passion.
If the decision to reduce the hours is upheld by Commissioner Reardon, the hours will be reduced down to 40 over the next 10 years. Every 2 years, the hours will be reduced by 4 until it reaches 40 hours in 2032. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Stuben County.
Multiple farmers markets in the Southern Tier are up to be America's favorite farmers market. The nationwide competition offers a $10,000 prize for first place, $2,500 for second place, and $1,500 for third place. Among the markets up for the award is Corning's Farmers Market, Wisner Market, Hornell Farmers Market, the Watkins Glen Farmers Market, and the Chamberlain Acres Farmers Market. To vote for your favorite farmers market, you can visit the website on your screen. A new fiber optic internet network is rapidly expanding across the state. Greenlight Networks announced they have successfully connected over 100,000 households to their network. Greenlight is servicing households in Rochester, Buffalo, and Binghamton. The company's network map shows expansion continuing into Owego. Greenlight stated they expect to service another 30,000 households before year-end. You can still sign up for Bampa's House annual 5K. Bampa's House is an end-of-life care home in Corning. To run the 5K either virtually or in person, to get more information on Bampa's House, or to find out how to volunteer or donate, you can visit bampashouse.org. A new local emergency app has been released for Stuben County. Ready Stuben allows users to see traffic reports, power outages, weather reports, and evacuation routes. Emergency plans and routes are also included in the app. Ready Stuben is available on the App Store and the Google Play Store. In another leak to the Washington Post, the FBI is said to have found material at Mar-a-Lago on another nation's military defenses. If true, this would be a bombshell. Madeline Rivera is in Washington with the national security implications.
In a new report, the Washington Post, citing unnamed sources, says FBI agents found a document containing information about a foreign country's nuclear capabilities during that Mar-a-Lago search. The file is reportedly among the more than 100 classified records taken from the property last month.
We don't know whether it was a friend or a foe, and the issue is not just about the content of the report, but what it may reveal about our sources and methods and capabilities to find out and learn about another country's military capabilities.
The Post sources did not identify which foreign government was involved or where the document was found in Mar-a-Lago. Critics are slamming yet another leak.
And the only reason to leak to the media is to influence the narrative, which tells you this is being politicized, which is doing damage to the FBI, the Justice Department, to important institutions to our country.
An attorney for former President Trump says the government must exercise leadership and control, adding that the court has provided a sensible path forward, which does not include the selective leak of unverifiable and misleading information. On Monday, a federal judge granted former President Trump's request for an independent party to review the records, a move that former Attorney General Bill Barr is criticizing.
The opinion I think was wrong, and I think the government should appeal it.
The Justice Department and former President Trump's teams have until Friday to come up with suitable candidates to sift through the thousands of documents that were found in Mar-a-Lago. In Washington, Malva Rivera, Fox News.
Ensure your student is at their best during the beginning of this school year. A weekly community health clinic will be held tomorrow at Ernie Davis Family Center. The clinic will conduct lead screenings of all attendees. Funding is provided by Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield. Save the date, the Corning Public Theater will host a bowling fundraiser. The tournament will be held on September 18th at Crystal Lanes in East Corning. Entries include the gameplay, shoes, and a chance to win door and raffle prizes. The group is fundraising to continue converting the former Frank B. Howard Scottish Rite Cathedral in the heart of Corning. To sign up for the tournament, you can visit the website on your screen. Snow days are now a thing of the past in New York City. The New York City Schools Chancellor says students will have to shift to remote learning on days when bad weather keeps them from in-person learning. Matt King has more on why this decision was made.
I loved being at home on a snow day. There's nothing like that.
Finding anyone of any age anywhere in this country for whom memories of snow days elicit anything but fuzzy feelings proves near impossible.
They were amazing, obviously.
They were
a lot of fun for me.
Oh, I love it. Sledding.
And we can include New York City Schools Chancellor David Banks among those many millions of Americans who think back on the snow days of their youth with fondness.
That's the way I used to feel.
But Banks confirmed on Good Day New York Tuesday the city's public school system would host remote learning days in place of snow days this year, just as it did last school year.
With the new technology that we have, it's one of the good things that came out of COVID.
And just as students reacted in May of 2021 when the city first announced this policy,
that doesn't sound so much fun. It's not fair that we don't get to have snow days.
Kids Tuesday booed the end of snow days for the million-ish public school students in the city.
Not very fun.
And their parents mostly bemoaned having to oversee remote learning while somehow also performing their jobs.
It's hard for everybody, remote learning.
Hard.
I'd rather have them home in an organized way than just a free-for-all.
It can be challenging for us working professionals, trying to juggle our own work responsibilities and taking care of our kids at the same time.
State law requires students in New York State attend 180 days of class every year.
So sorry, kids, no more snow days. But it's going to be good for you.
On the Upper East Side, I'm Matt King, Fox 5 News.
New York City returning a batch of stolen antiquities to Italy. The Manhattan DA saying on Tuesday the estimated $19 million collection will be returned to Italian authorities. The artifacts include the marble head of Athena, which by itself is worth an estimated $3 million. Many of the items had even been on display at New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art.
These traffickers often utilize local looters to steal these antiquities from archaeological sites, specifically targeting areas that were not as well protected. Through this illegal activity, many of them were able to amass some of the largest and most prized collections of antiquities, selling them to the highest bidders in order to turn a profit.
According to the DA's Antiquities Unit, since the beginning of the last decade, they've brought in around 4,500 pieces valued at over $250 million. Your complete forecast is next. Plus, an app that claims users can be their authentic self, and it's gaining popularity. We'll have a look at Be Real coming up. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
As the rainfall continues to diminish, we are looking at some of the rainfall totals over the last 7 days. Pretty significant, especially the farther off to the east you track. You can see those high reflectivities up towards those yellows and oranges, which does signify up to about 3 to 4 inches seen over the last two days, even as there was some record rainfall into Binghamton. Across much of our area, we trended closer to about that 2-inch marker, as even Elmira topped off just towards that 1 3/4 inches over the last 3 days. We do add on a few hundredths of an inch from today. We'll get those official numbers later on, but overall the significant rainfall did mainly come on Monday, where we had some record rainfall reports across the state, but now we're trying to see that we have some comfortable conditions on the way. It did stay gloomy today. Really, we had this lingering low pressure system allow for the gray clouds, low level clouds as well, making it just feel dreary, and a little bit of that light shower or just mist at times. Now that moisture is going to hang on. It's going to create some of those patchy dense fog regions again for our commute, so do make sure you have those headlights on. High beams actually make it more difficult, and keep an eye out for those kiddos. Remember, we started off school earlier this week, so they are waiting out at those bus stops in those early morning hours, where we'll watch temperatures fall into those lower 60s and upper 50s. So a comfortable start to the day, as we'll be anywhere from about 59 into Corning to 59 into Wayland. But what we'll see as we step throughout our Thursday is the sunshine should be on its way for the area, and we should keep it through the weekend. And with that sunshine, it is going to stay dry and pleasant all weekend long, as high temperatures will be back into the 80s. So some gorgeous conditions to get outdoors after some dreary weather days. But the rainy weather is going to persist, as we will see that return into next work week again. But we'll get out and enjoy the sunshine while we can. As we look at our Thursday forecast, we have a little bit of cloud cover to start off with, some fog cover in the morning, but then the afternoon should turn to those brighter skies, as temperatures will be just around average into those upper 70s, as we'll sit 78 in Elmira to about 74 into Wayland to about Westfield around 73 degrees. As we keep that sunshine into our Friday forecast, we'll bump those temperatures up into the 80s, so slightly above average, which is nice to see with the bright sunshine there across the entire area. All the way through Binghamton, we even have that blue sky with high temperatures climbing to about 82 degrees. So as we're about just 2 to 5 degrees above average, it does look like we'll persist under that bright sky into our Saturday forecast, high of 82 degrees. Now, we're trying to edge in a few isolated showers on Sunday. Note that those shower chances are actually going to come super late on Sunday. So much of the daytime is going to be bright. You may just see some of that increase in cloud cover, which would limit our temperatures to about 79 degrees. But the more likely chance to talk about some scattered heavier showers in the forecast will come Tuesday into Wednesday, when we watch those temperatures go slowly dwindle below average, in which they could stay there for the rest of next work week.
No more pretending. A new social media app claims that users can be their authentic selves. Jennifer Williams has more on the app and why it might be gaining in popularity.
There's now a social media platform that claims it's an outlet where you can be your authentic self. No filters or makeup needed. And that's exactly why it's gaining in popularity.
Oh, I love BeReal. It's my favorite app on my phone.
No idea what BeReal is.
People are just tired of nonsense. Might want something genuine.
Dubbed as the anti-social social media, BeReal is the new app that has users share photos of what they're doing in real time.
It'll go off at a random time every day. Every day is different. You just get a notification, everybody has to take it right then and there.
They give you 2 minutes to take a picture, and it takes a picture of the front of your camera and then the back of the camera. So it's kind of just like a reaction time, but you can actually retake it as many times as you want. Like, hold on, let me see everyone's BeReal.
But before you try to snap the perfect pic, just know there's a catch built in to try to keep the experience transparent.
But people can see if you retake it or not, or screenshot, or comment, or react to it. So I think it's kind of funny, I see people and I'm like, oh, you retook it 11 times? Oh.
Totally calls you
I was
out.
Interesting. But I think it's funny because I hope no one looks at how many times I retake it. A lot.
Ultimately, people seem to like BeReal just because it's something different.
I get off TikTok, I get on Instagram, and it's like, which one did I just get off of right now? So it's very similar at the moment.
You don't really need to try as hard, and it's much more casual than anything else people have seen.
It's just like a way of not having to curate every moment of your life and still be in touch with your friends in a way that feels more meaningful.
People need to live in the moment more. That sounds nice. I'd use it.
I might download it. Should I? I might get it because it's very popular right now and I feel left out of the little loop,
New York Fashion Week dates back decades, with the first official one all the way back in 1943. It was a way for American fashion designers to showcase their work on an international scale during World War II. Fast forward, and the event is still as show-stopping as ever. Marianne Rafferty has a special look at what trends you can expect to see when the models hit the catwalk later this week.
It's one of the world's biggest fashion events of the year. The Big Apple preparing for a heavy dose of glitz and glam when New York Fashion Week kicks off this Friday. The event lasts until September 14th and will feature shows from more than 140 designers. But just like fashion trends come and go, New York Fashion Week itself is also evolving.
There's fewer big luxury American brands that show during New York Fashion Week. They either have kind of moved and started showing in Paris, or they show off calendar. So it's created a lot more room for excitement and energy around the younger brands, the younger designers.
Stephanie Crowchild is one of those designers, hoping her debut at New York Fashion Week will catapult her brand, Eagletail Designs, to new heights.
The work I do, it's very unique, very colorful, definitely one-of-a-kind pieces.
With Crowchild's clothing honoring her indigenous ancestry.
I really look to my ancestors, all of the adversities that we actually had to face and still face today, just really overcoming that.
But besides up-and-coming brands, this season's shows will also highlight the hottest pieces from designers' upcoming spring-summer collections.
I think that we'll see a lot of vacation wear, swim mixed with day wear.
Sustainability is also on trend, with fashion experts saying don't be surprised if collections feature patchwork designs to minimize fabric waste.
Still ahead, Google announces a product launch date, Target gets rid of its CEO retirement age, and United Airlines threatens to leave a busy airport. Those stories and more coming up. Google announces a release date for its new Pixel 7 phones. United Airlines threatens to leave one of New York City's busiest airports, and Kim Kardashian launches a new business. Grady Trimble has those stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
Google plans to launch its latest line of smartphones in early October. New devices include the company's first ever smart watch and new additions to the Nest Smart Home portfolio. Devices will be available to buy online and in New York City stores October 6th. Target is dropping its mandatory retirement age for its CEO. The company extending its contract with Chief Executive Brian Cornell for 3 more years. Cornell, who led the company through the pandemic, would be over the age of 65 in that time. United Airlines threatens to drop service to New York's JFK Airport in October if the FAA doesn't grant the carrier more flight times. In an email to employees, United says it needs more slots at the airport in order to compete with rival carriers. The airline has reportedly written to the FAA asking for more capacity. Right now, United is flying just 2 times a day to San Francisco and Los Angeles from JFK. In a statement, the FAA says it would assess runway and airspace capacity. And reality TV star Kim Kardashian is looking to invest. According to the Wall Street Journal, she's launching a private equity firm with former Carlyle Group partner Jay Sammons. The firm will focus on investing in consumer and media businesses. That includes consumer products, luxury goods, hospitality, and digital commerce. That's business. I'm Grady Trimble.
The race is on to mitigate the effects of climate change before the consequences become irreversible. Ted Lindner has a look at what social ecologists say we can do to adapt to the changing planet and more severe weather emergencies.
From scorching temperatures.
This heat wave is on track to be both the hottest and the longest on record for the state and many parts of the West for the month of September.
To deadly wildfires, catastrophic flooding, and more. The ongoing climate crisis is posing severe consequences, and environmentalists say communities across the country must adapt in order to survive.
We need to develop a climate action plan, and that needs to involve community members, the local government, and the private sector.
And as local and federal governments try and rein in greenhouse gas emissions to slow spiking temperatures, researchers say more everyday people are taking steps to sustainably fortify their homes and adjust to worsening weather conditions.
Like putting more insulation in their homes, planting trees to shade their homes, to avoid, the additional energy costs.
Meantime, climate change is also exposing more people to potential health problems. Besides heat-related emergencies, tick-borne diseases are also on the rise.
changes in climate patterns, increasing population numbers and urbanisation and habitat loss and destruction, which brings people into closer contact and increases the chance of a human-tick encounter.
And as we head into the fall, these warmer temperatures mean ticks will stay active for longer. Biologists say it may not be comfy in the heat, but recommend wearing long shirts and pants outside in wooded areas. And they say tucking your pants into your socks is a good way to prevent ticks from biting you.
Stay with us. We'll have more right after this. We want to leave you with a smile and maybe an aww. 2 new sea lions joined the colony at Chicago's Shed Aquarium. Meet Charger and his pup. The father and son duo made their way to the Chicago Aquarium from the Smithsonian's National Zoo in D.C. The pup is only 3 months old and is the youngest sea lion the facility has ever cared for. The oldest sea lion, Charger's dad, Tanner, gives the aquarium 3 generations of sea lions. Oh, pretty adorable. I'm Scott Beadle. Thanks so much for watching.